Continue creating and nurturing a highly productive student-focused, holistic learning environment for optimizing the learning experience. The great mentors warmly welcome Dr. Vasudha Neel, Principal at Rockwoods International School, Udaipur. Her key skills are teacher training, international curriculum development, instructional leadership experience and management, key relationship management, team building, motivational techniques, marketing and branding, research and management, inspection and audit. Dr. Vasudha was a part of 3 core member team heading the Cambridge Central India community. She built a proficiency in core systems that govern the international curriculum-based institutions and organizational psychology and human behavior. She also conducted academic audits for schools and guided them with recommendations and strategies. Dr. Vasudha has been conferred with many prestigious awards. Global Education Summit for Outstanding Services in Academics and Co-Curricular Activities. Best Dynamic Educationist of the Year by Media Federation of India. Avantika Drive APJ Abdul Kalam Award 2017 for my contribution as principal. Innovative Principal Award by IEA and many other important awards. Dr. Vasudha authored articles on RTE published as a part of cover story in the Education World magazine. She also authored an article on urgent need of value education in Education World magazine. She takes workshops at many schools to implement Cambridge curriculum. There are many other achievements in her career.
Hello friends. Continue creating and nurturing a highly productive, student-focused, holistic learning environment for optimizing the learning experience. Her key skills are teacher training, international curriculum development, instructional leadership, experience and management, key relationship management, team building, motivational techniques, marketing and branding, research and management, inspection and audit. On behalf of the great mentors, me, Sushil Sinha, warmly welcome Dr. Vasudha Neel for today's talk show session. Thanks, ma'am, for giving your valuable time and being with us.
Thank you. Thank you. Pleasure is mine.
Thank you so much, ma'am. First, we would like to go with your professional journey up to this point, please.
So I think I was a born teacher. I belong to family of academicians. So this was something teaching students or imparting knowledge was something very, very close to my heart. And I started my career as a special educator. I used to work with children with special needs. And this journey began in 1993. And for about good from 93 to good to 2003, I was in completely into special schools. And then I also started the learning centers of many schools, wherein we used to talk a lot about inclusion and inclusivity of students, differentiated learning, and getting those students at par with the average learners, so-called average learners. And it started with because I wanted to do something to support my family, because I was the only child and my parents retired pretty early. I was in grade 11 when both of them retired. So, but starting early, working early in my life, it really helped me a lot. And I can give this credit to that journey only, that I began early. And again, I belong to a very, very staunch Rajput family from my parents' side. So I was married off at 21, but I completed my two post graduations, my lot of courses, and everything after my marriage, post my marriage. And my both in-laws were very supportive. And in my family, everybody is into education. So my father-in-law was a retired principal of a government college. My sister-in-law is a principal of a college. My brother-in-law, my husband is into IT education. So we had that very strong academic background, and that helped me. And in 2004, I joined Pathways, and then I got into the international education system. And I think being a special educator, because we used to do a lot of active learning things, pedagogical innovations were involved. So it was very, very easy for me to adapt to Cambridge education, IB education at that time. And since 2004 till 2010, I was with Pathways. In 2010, I got an opportunity to become a vice principal of a, only at that time it was the first Cambridge school, Vidya Sanskar. I was there. Within a year I was made the principal of the school, and then I never looked back. So in 2016 to 2018 I was a director principal of the RD group of schools. I was looking after their 3 schools. And now I moved to Rockwoods International School in Udaipur. I'm here, though I'm principal of this school, but of course I'm also taking care of the knowledge, innovation, and branding aspect and everything of my other 2 schools also. That is, both are CBSE Central Public School and Rockwoods High. So yes, and I believe in being a lifelong learner. So having that said in mind, so every year from a very, very, I think almost a decade, every year I take up something and I do a lot of courses and update myself. So I am a CCSP certified, NCDA certified career coach. Right now I have just completed my ICF accreditation is pending, but I've just completed my PCC level life and leadership coaching. Right now I'm doing a few courses from UPenn, University of Pennsylvania, in positive psychology. And with that also I'm doing a program leader induction course from Cambridge itself. So that is in process. And my institute where I did my life and leadership coaching. So I am working there also as a part-time faculty of organized psychology and behavior. So yeah, this is the gist of professional journey of past 28 years. And I think journey will continue. It will continue because children are something very, very close to my heart. And I love spending time with them. I love doing things with them, and making their learning interesting, innovative, and seeing them happy is all that I want, I wish, and I want, because I strongly feel as an educationist that it is just not about completing the coursework or completing the syllabus. Education is much, much more beyond that. And keeping that in mind, I authored a book also called Gratitude, the Purpose of Life. So it is a 21-day curriculum. So it started with children, but of course, it can be done now from a 3-year-old child to an 80-year-old person also. So yes, so I read, I write, I have 2 more books, where I am just doing a lot of things related to that. Yeah.
Great, ma'am. Really a true educational by choice. Very
yes,
few people are
absolutely.
there. They used to opt education as an career option, but you chosen that. It's really a great job. And the way things are, the way you are doing the things, it shows, it reflects your interest towards education, and the enthusiasm you are having towards this education system. Thank you so much.
Yes, I think that's the only thing I know, and that's the only thing I can do.
Great, ma'am. You consider yourself as a career coach, right? How do you focus on that part?
See, actually, I got into career coaching by chance, I would say. There were many platforms related to career coaching who the companies used to get in touch with me. And I was not very clear that whom should we give a chance when it came to my students. So in 2015, I got in touch with the COO, CEO, and all the senior coaches from Mindler. And it really intrigued me, it really interested me. So in 2018, they launched their first ICCC program related to career coaching, and it was affiliated to NCDA US and ICF, and I jumped into it. And I really liked that 7 to 8 months course. And then in 2020, when lockdown was there, I completed my master's with them in the. So what happens is that if you see the data, if we see the analysis, there are we need around 14 to 15 lakh career coaches when we are talking about the population, the student population of our country. But unfortunately, we just have 65 to 70,000 career coaches. So so that gap is very high. And if we my always mantra is to empower the teachers. So that was the only thing I wanted to do, an experiment that, you know, whether somebody who is just a career coach or career counselor, can he or she do it, or anybody with passion towards the higher education who are wanting to learn this thing can do it. And that's why I did the course. And it's then I became a Mindler partner also, and it is my just part-time hobby, wherein I just help the students, you know, who come to me from word to mouth or word of mouth. And it really helps me when like I have around 300 to 400 senior students whom we look after. And if I have a strong knowledge about being what career coaching is about, what are the psychometric tests, you know, when we use the psychometric test, how to do the report interpretation, how to do the report analysis. So it is very, very easy for me, and it is a cakewalk for me, and I don't want to misguide a child. So what happens is that it is just, you know, somebody says, oh, I want to take science and I want to, you know, but we don't know whether his aptitude is for science or not, his interest is for science or not. So that's why the career psychometric assessment comes into picture, and then we do it. And to follow it up, when I was doing this career coaching, and I got in touch with many people, many students, you know, who had a lot of other issues, whether they were adolescent issues, they were their age related issues, they were their relationship issues, and I started, you know, helping them. So one of my seniors, who's a life coach himself, so he actually told me that, you know, you are so much into healing, you're so much into coaching, you are so much, you know, children are so comfortable with you, you have that calming effect, why don't you do this course? And I think he spoke to me last year, 2021 January. So in Feb, I got myself enrolled into Feb or March, I got myself enrolled into this life coaching program. And yes, so now I'm a life and leadership coach, PCC level life and leadership coach also. So wherein with my being a principal time, being an educationist time, whatever time I left, I dedicate myself to this leadership coaching, life coaching, because whether education sector, whether non-education sector, we all know that all the leaders, whether they are young CEOs, whether they are young principals, young headmistress, they need leadership coaching. They get confused, they don't know what is the org structure they have to follow, what are the challenges, how can they overcome the day-to-day challenges, you know. So that is something. So yes, being an educationist, so it is all in one, you know. Once you are an educationist, is a very big umbrella, education is a very big umbrella. So so being a school principal, or being a psychologist, being a counselor, being a faculty, being a career coach or life coach, it is all interrelated, I feel.
Really great, ma'am. And I think this is very much required for children.
Yes.
At their earlier stage, even in the age group of, or we can talk about in the class group of, when they cross the class 8th onwards, all the students, they have different kind of strength. But if we talk about the strength of a student, it is very difficult to find for a parent what exactly strengths are there, right? So if there is a career coach or some kind of things are there which can be by which and by the application of that we can find the actual strength of a student, and career option is in every dimension nowadays. The days has gone which when we usually talked about the science stream was very good and something like that. Everywhere options are
Absolutely.
there. Everywhere options are there. And but the problem is parent and society, especially in group B and C town, they are more focused to this kind of uh, mindset they are having for the science. But they are having opportunities in every dimension. So it is very much required, especially in fact in city A, most of the parent they are a little bit of aware of all these things because so many good institutions are there and all. But especially in group B and group C town, they are lacking. And you
Yes.
type of people are very much required for all these things. They are actually
Yes.
in need.
See, when I was studying, I mean, uh, I'm talking about 91, 92, when I was studying, yes, you were absolutely right. At that time, it was just that the most intelligent people will take science, followed by commerce, and followed by humanities. So I was in the family of academicians who had always taken sciences. So my grandfather was a civil surgeon with Britishers. My Tauji was, a professor of science, and he was a principal of our inter college. My father was an agricultural engineer. So when I said that I want to take humanities, so I dropped a, bomb at my house that, oh, we wanted you to be a doctor. That was, except my father, everybody else said that we wanted you to be a doctor. You are so bright, you can do that. But I told them, and I was very good with languages, and I was very clear that I wanted to do something related to psychology, something related to the children, and I want to. So I told my father. So my father just said that I will just tell you one thing, that you take commerce, you take science, you take humanities. It's your choice, but you have to promise me that you will always give your 100% in your efforts. Post that, whatever result is, that's destiny or God's will. But you have to, if I ask you at any point in time that have you given your 100%, your answer should never be no to me. You should always give your 100%. If you want to be a homemaker also, give 100% to that, and don't look back to your choices. Don't repent on your choices. So I think those were the very, very important lesson that I learned, and I always tell my children also. And these days also, you are absolutely right. There is a complete mindset in tier B and tier 2 and tier 2 3 cities, where in their main aim is to make a child either engineer or a doctor. So we have to work very hard to um, bring that paradigm shift, that life is much above being engineers or doctors, and there are many, many more careers. So as we are talking, we may not know there are umpteen numbers of careers being, born at this point in time. So who knew about ethical hackers, who knew about animation expert, who knew about, social media blogger or food bloggers, or whatever. In sciences also, there are, marine biology, there is biomedical engineering, there is wildlife conservationist courses. So there are so many things, and the education system has evolved completely. So it is about, giving the right information and right guidance to parents as well as students. because many times, when I give a psychometric assessment to a child and he has done fairly well in the mechanical part, or the physics aspect or mathematical aspect, and his school report cards are not matching, and if I talk to them, and these are from so-called from Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, I mean those cities, and when I speak to them, that okay, why are you not scoring well? Well, because since they will just say that, okay ma'am, don't tell, because my father is from IIT, or yeah, my mother is from IIT, they did the test on my behalf, because that was, and they want me to be an engineer. So they are doing more harm to their child, because we never know what a child wants to do. So yes, at times, these psychometric assessment, because if it is not done with complete honesty, that also fails at times. But our main aim is to actually convince the parents, counsel them, and ultimately our hands are also tied as career coaches or as an educationist, because ultimately I say that ball is in your court, it's your child, we can guide you well, but whatever needs to be done, that you will only take a call.
Very true, ma'am. Very, very much true. The problem is most of the students, they used to opt either in peer pressure or parents pressure. That's the biggest problem. And most of the parents, they want to choose for their child as a career option what they think about that. They don't want to go there what exactly is strength are there, what's the exactly is interest of students. Right, most of the time they are putting pressure on children, and that's one of the major reason. At the end, when a student get fail in fulfilling their dream, both of them get frustrated, parents at their end and the students on their end. It's very much true. Ma'am, you are a born teacher, right? So what are the important aspects in teaching career?
See, sadly, I think I am one of the very few teachers who, when asked in the classrooms that who wants to be a teacher, I used to raise my hand, and there are very, very few people who are like that. So not a utopian or not a cliche kind of a thing, what I'm going to say. But if you love children and if you want to bring that change in your students, if you want to see that change, if you really love them, then only one should come into this profession. And other than that is also true. I proudly say that yes, teaching is the profession that creates all the professions. So if teachers are not there, no profession can be created. So that's one. And of course, these days, if we are talking about last 2 or 3 years, this is the third year now where COVID is, we are talking about COVID. So the teacher's role is now just not to deliver the lecture, complete the curriculum, but also to be a very strong support and mentor to a child. Now, there have been many losses of lives. There have been many losses of, families, parents have gone. So we don't know what a child is going through emotionally. So he needs that, a little bit of hug, a little bit of reassurance that, okay, I'm there for you, and if you need anything, let me know. So yes, these if you are compassionate, you are passionate, and you love children, and you want to be a teacher, then only one should come in this profession, because the competition is very high in this profession also. But if the mindset is such, because I still remember that most of my colleagues, they became teachers just with the idea that, okay, let's do the B.Ed, and by 2 o'clock, we will be able to go home. We will be able to take care of family. We will be take care of our children, and life is sorted. And there are many of the candidates, nothing wrong in that. But yes, many of the candidates who come to me and who will just say, if I ask that, why do you want to be a teacher? So I don't know, individual differences may be there. But for me, there is a major roadblock in appointing that teacher who just says, oh, I have just become teacher because I want to spend time with my child. I will go with my child, I will come with my child. There is nothing wrong with that. But one has to be little more open-minded. It is not about having one child, then it is about having hundreds of children or thousands of children who are and are working, who are under your mentorship. And of course, there are all kind of professionals in all the fields. So I would just say that professional, I was also a teacher, I was never a principal. When you are a teacher, with the difference, when you are little proactive, when you are just thinking out of the box, when you are just thinking that okay, if my child is not understanding from this pedagogy, what should I do? What brains should I use, or what techniques should I use? So when you are doing that, so you are thinking out of the box, you are being proactive, you are being innovative. So what happens is that teachers like us, then we become leaders. I was just 35 years old when I became the principal, and I was one of the youngest principals of the country. So though there are many who were younger than me also, I'm sure, but nowadays the management and the people, they also look up to the dynamic young people, young leaders who can create that change in the system.
Thank you, ma'am. These are very important points for the academicians and for the educational community. They should take care of all these important points. And you type of leader are very much required, at least to guide them on a regular interval basis. And we can strongly believe that your employees, your teachers in your school, they must follow you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am. Thank you.
How to boost students and teachers psychologically strong? Because nowadays it is very much required. Both of them are in problem. Students on their own end, and teachers, of course, they are also having more challenges because they have to accommodate themselves as well as they have to take care of children at the same time in even more energetic way, in more enthusiastic way. So they must be psychologically strong. So please guide on that part.
See, only that's my mantra from a very young child, not childhood, but yes, my young days of being a teacher. And fortunately, where I'm working, my chairperson, Mrs. Alka Sharma, that's her mantra also. So there are two things, 2 points. If we are two virtues, I must say, if we are taking care of that, so we are actually inculcating a strong, psychologically strong teachers as well as students. So one is the feeling of belongingness. So when there is a perfect blend of lot of affection, lot of personal touch and professionalism, and there is a transparency, everything is sorted. The other aspect is the attitude of gratitude, which I was talking to you, my book is also all about. And I strongly believe in that, because in your mind and in your heart, if you are content, and if you will just believe that whatever is happening in our lives, whether each challenge shall pass, whatever happens, it happens for a reason. So I think when we have that content mindset, I'm not saying to give in all the time. Yes, we have to convert our challenges into opportunities. But every human being, every profession, every person goes through that rigor roller coaster ride of challenges, and each day is a challenge. But how you live up to that, that makes all the difference. So if one is positive and one is grateful in all for all the situations, so of course you are attracting abundance for yourself if you are grateful for the current things that you have. And sometimes, when we are in that vicious cycle of lot of challenges, and we are just cribbing about those challenges, trust me, the challenges will never end. So that's one point. And lot of affection, lot of bonhomie, lot of that spirit that okay, we are there for each other, and living up to that makes things very, very easy, makes challenges very, very easy. So there is there are a few quotes that I have written, and one of my favorite quotes regarding to the challenges is that whenever a ship is in the ocean, and there is a storm, or there is something, so the ship will only sink when there is a hole in the ship. So in the same manner, our life is full of challenges. So the day we started getting affected and we let that challenges and negativity creep in, we are gone. But if we think that we have to overcome all these challenges as a learning lesson, then things will be easier for us.
Thank you, ma'am. To focus and to elaborate on such an important issue, which is very much required nowadays, because there are so many kind of pressure are there on teacher side and of course on the student side, and you focused and you elaborated in such a beautiful way. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank a lot for giving your valuable time and being with us. And hopefully we will be in contact with you soon. Sure. For our other kind of things.
Sure. Anytime. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank a lot, ma'am.